We are drawn to the experiences of others. Writers and directors take advantage of this by creating stories that explore the experiences of humans. Texts such as Stephen Daldry's Billy Elliot and Bob Dylan's The Times They Are A-Changing are two texts which do this very well, and as a result are immensely important to society. Billy Elliot is a film released in 2000, produced by Greg Brenman, John Finn, and directed by Stephen Daldry. It's set during the 1984-1985 coal miners' strike in the northeast England. The film stars Jamie Bell as Billy Elliot, who's fascinated with dancing, in particular the ballet. Billy must deal with the stereotypes that go along with being a male dancer of the time, and the negative connotations forced upon by his family and society. The Times They Are A-Changing is a song created by Bob Dylan in 1964. Dylan purposely created this song as an anthem of change. 1964 was a time where many changes and events were taking place, some of which include the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War. This song embodies the feelings and frustrations of many young Americans of the time. Although both these texts were created at different times, the experiences presented in them are universal. We only live one life, and as a result, the ability to live someone else's is intriguing to us. By exploring anomalies and using techniques, texts draw us into someone else's world and broaden our understanding of it by exposing us to different or relatable human experiences such as acceptance and rebellion. Billy Elliot and The Times They Are A-Changing are two texts that explore individual and collective human experiences such as acceptance. The time and place that Billy Elliot is growing up in is very macho. Men do football or boxing, and ballet is for girls. This separation is originally displayed to us by Stephen Daldry with his use of juxtaposition in the first boxing gym scene. The contrasting effect created between the ballet students and the boxing students highlights the expectations in the town, one where men and women are clearly separated, especially in interests. This scene reveals Billy's more feminine persona to us when he's drawn to the dancing rather than the boxing. This is also presented to us when Billy dances in the ring. This anomaly in Billy's personality draws us in. It's not something we're used to. By exploring his individual experience of gaining acceptance, we are placed into his shoes, allowing us to live other parts of people's lives and experiences, even if it's just for an hour and 45 minutes. The human experience of acceptance of others is the main theme throughout the entire song, The Times They Are A-Changing. The context and lyrics in the song refer greatly to the Civil Rights Movement, and as a result, the song is about changing into a more accepting and tolerant society.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown and accepted that.
The first line in this song is very inviting. Dylan is speaking to all, wherever you roam. This line intends to hook the audience, asking you to listen, no matter who you are. Once he has your attention, he can then express the main theme of the song, changing to become more accepting. The next line is a metaphor for the pressure on people to become more tolerant to others. He uses water, often associated with pressure, to represent a younger generation of people rallying together for a common cause of acceptance. Dylan's accepting language, used in the first line, entices people, allowing him to express his ideas and have a larger audience that will pay attention. Both Billy Elliot and The Times They Are A-Changing explore the common human experience of rebellion. It's not uncommon for social and political views to shift greatly from each generation, and both texts are a perfect example of that. Rebellion is a trait that is shared by the Elliot family. Jackie and Tony are originally against Billy's ballet obsession, caused by the stereotypes around male dancers at the time. Billy doesn't see the problem with ballet and believes that dancers are as fit as athletes. The brother Tony is an active member of the strike, rebelling against the government and Thatcher. Throughout this film, Billy and his family are faced with many challenges, the biggest being the 1984 miners' strike. The government in the UK made the decision to close all unprofitable mines. Miners and union workers in an act of rebellion resisted this, banding together and going on strike. Throughout this film, there is a recurring motif of doors used to represent the physical or emotional state of the characters and heightened conflict. In this particular scene, all the doors are being opened by Tony, allowing him to escape, but also allowing the police into their homes. This opening of doors represents the failing strike, allowing the workers to get pushed around. Tony then finds himself overwhelmed by police. This is symbolized by having Tony getting tangled in sheets as he's beaten by police. This is a representation of the crippling effect that the strike is having on the Elliot family and town. The Elliot family has fallen victim to the conflict between the union and the government, and this scene shows us that. The Times They Are A-Changing is a song that demands change, especially from the older generation. It stands as a warning to people that there will be consequences if you can't evolve with society. You will sink like a stone. This rebellion to previously accepted social traditions reveals clashes between the generations as a younger America fights against a rapidly aging one.
The battle outside raging will see you shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing.
Bob Dylan uses hyperbole in this line, emphasizing the size and influence of the movement. During this time, clashing between people who believe in segregation and non-segregation was at its peak. Although the civil rights movement protested in a non-violent fashion, tensions in society resulted in widespread violence. Events such as murders, lynching, and beatings were all too common. Even today, people are still drawn to this song. As long as there are problems facing our world, the experiences explored in this song will forever make it relevant. Both Billy Elliot and The Times They Are A-Changing are two texts that share many similarities. The experiences present in both texts relate hugely to the common person, allowing most people to relate, sympathize, or hope for the characters and causes. The two human experiences, adversity and rebellion, are very closely related. Majority of the time, adversity is the cause of rebellion and resistance. Everyone at some point in their lives will experience adversity, therefore resistance and rebellion against it is common. Both Dylan and Daldry perfectly present these experiences in text, using film and text techniques, allowing the audience to connect to the characters, stories, and causes. These two texts successfully explore the experiences of people, allowing us to live their lives and expanding our understanding of the human experience.